Hey, welcome to the Steve and Crypto Show, presented by thestevestrout.com. I'm Steve.
I'm Crypto Zoo.
Hey, how have you guys been doing? If you guys been listening, our last couple episodes were really exciting. I'm really proud of them. We showed some love to some very talented, hardworking females in the horror from the horror genre. We did the Intrusion Disconnected episode with the writer and the star of that movie, Katie Stewart, who is a brilliant actress. Which by the time this episode airs, we'll have done a giveaway based on that. We have a autographed poster from the first Intrusion movie that we're going to give away to somebody who follows and promotes us, of course. It's exciting. We're going to do a lot of stuff like that, a lot of giveaways. So make sure you guys are paying attention. We like sending you guys things and as a way of thanking you for listening and promoting us. We appreciate it and love you guys for it. But
Yeah,
the
and
other
who knows what it might be that we send your way as well. You know, you might get something from Steve, you might get something from me, and it might not even be horror related. You know, it who knows what you're gonna get.
yeah, the other recent episode was the women in horror one. As I mentioned, we had a 3 or 4 great creators that joined us on there. But we are not just here to talk about horror. We're going to talk about everything from comic books to movies, TV shows, whatever just interests us at the moment. And just so happens this episode, we are going to be joined by a musical guest. You guys know, if you guys listen to us, Crypto is a musician. He's a hip hop artist. He does a lot of stuff besides this show. And he interviewed one of his favorite performers, somebody I personally don't know much about, but I'm really excited to learn about him hearing this interview. I'm going to hear it for the first time with you guys. But Crypto, tell us a little
Yeah.
bit about our guest.
Well, this is episode 20, and it's pretty cool that we've even made it this far. But you know, I wanted to kind of make it somewhat of a special episode. Um, we well, I should say we. Steve didn't make it to this one, so I had a chat with um, an artist out of Humboldt County by the name of Underrated. Now, I say it's a special one because he really doesn't do too many interviews and podcasts and things like that. Um, you know, kind of you know, an artist who keeps to himself a little bit, you know, but he's been in the game for a long time. He has learned a lot over the years, and you know, some can say that there's often a good reason as to why a lot of us keep to ourselves and why we start doing things on our own. You know, I'm not going to dive too far into his previous endeavors. You're welcome to look him up, but you know, that's kind of what I'm getting at. Is like, you know, eventually some of us just decide maybe it's better to kind of do things our own and you know, present things the way we want to, and we might have a message that we want to get out that we can't do, you know, unless it's done our way. So anyway, he's doing a solo thing now. He's been on his own for a few years. He has his first single, "It'll Be Better Tomorrow," is up to about 3 million plays on YouTube. You can go to Underrated World on YouTube to follow him and check out everything he's got going on. He is a producer, you know, makes a lot of his own beats and beats for other people. He's a busy guy, you know, he's toured all over the place, and is still chilling in Humboldt. You know, he's born there, and um, it's saying a lot about Humboldt County, you know, for someone that has been all over the place and still hasn't moved away. You know, like it must be a really great place to live. So he and I had a great chat just about um, the music biz, about you know, some hobbies and things that he's into, um, his upcoming solo record and what he wants to do with that. The 5 minute drill. Uh, and if you want to know more about that, I suggest you go to Underrated World on YouTube and check out the other drills he's done, the 2 minute, 3 minute, 4 minute drill, and get a little example, little sample of what's to come with the 5 minute one. So anyway, I really had a blast talking with him. He's a very humble guy, personable, just really easy to talk to. So I hope you guys enjoy this conversation.
Yeah, that should be a good one. If you guys are into hip hop artists or just people in music or just hearing a good conversation with cool people, this is going to be a good one for you. You
Yeah,
did mention you did have a couple minor technical difficulties with the recording of the conversation, but it's still going to be a good one. Just
yeah, it'll be fine. It
yeah,
um bear with us. I'd say halfway through the conversation, there's like a little 2-3 minutes of like robot
yeah,
audio, but it goes away. So
yeah. That's just one of the things that come with the remote podcasting. Since we can't safely be all in the same room and record, there's going to be internet glitches and this and that, and it's no big deal. It's still a good conversation.
yeah,
We'll
yeah, it's really a great one. And for anyone who is a fan of him, of Underrated and his projects from over the years, I think you're really going to enjoy it. Even for someone who isn't familiar with Underrated, you're going to enjoy the conversation, and hopefully it'll make you want to check out his music and listen to what he has to offer. And um, it's not for anyone who's wanting answers with what happened with the previous project. This might not be the interview for you, but we respectfully tried to, or I respectfully tried to not dive into that too much.
yeah,
Um,
he came on to promote what he's working on and what's
exactly.
in the future for himself.
That's exactly what this was about. Yeah, it was just I wanted to promote him doing his new thing, get him out there a little bit more. To be honest, I've actually seen him live more than any other artist. I've seen and met him about 8-9 times in the past, and I think the last time was actually him opening, or well, us opening for him and Devin the Dude here in Port Townsend a few years back. And it was a hell of a show, man. Like Port Townsend didn't know what was coming. I mean, they were excited for Devin, but they didn't really know like what Underrated was bringing to the table. So yeah,
Nice.
highly
Well,
suggest you check him out online and check out his website and all that.
we will get to that one in a few minutes here. Um, so what else has been going on with you? Anything new?
Um, I've just been doing the family thing, adding some more Funko Pops to my collection. You know, catching up on some news here and there is for like movies that I'm excited about. They're coming out this year. There's so many things that are getting delayed, or projects that are finally getting back into full swing, and then all of a sudden they're dumping all kinds of news on us. Um, the main one that I'm thinking about is the new Child's Play TV show. So I've heard that they are filming again. They're starting to film. Mm. Um, they're in Canada, and there's been some details about like the cast. Devin Sawa was added to the cast recently.
Yep.
Um,
Jennifer Tilly's back.
Jennifer Tilly is back. There's been some talk about Alex Vincent. He's not confirmed, or he's not confirming anything, but there's a little rumor floating around about that. And possibly the addition of, I can't think of her real name, the actress who plays Kyle in Child's Play 2. So she might be back in the fold as well. Because she made an appearance in one of the last movies that they did, like just at the end.
Right. Right.
Um, and
I'm sure they'll probably try to bring. There's going to be a series. They'll probably try to introduce as many of the past actors and stuff from the show, kind of like they did with the Cobra Kai series. You know, they kept bringing back the old actors and characters from the series, from the
yep,
movies, and sprinkle them in there. So they'll probably do something like that because it works. It's it's it for the fans. It's like, let's get their, you know what I mean, their attention. Let's keep their attention by showing
right,
them their old characters that they loved and bringing them
right.
back. And
And they want to find ways to make the new audience, interested, um, and they want the show to be approachable. I mean, I'm kind of speaking broad here, as most of these shows do. Cobra Kai, Child's Play, whatever. If it's something that's an older iconic character or whatever, and they have a new series, just like you said, they want to bring in the old stuff, but they also want to make it to where if you're not really a fan of the old stuff or you never watched the old movies, then you can come into it, and accept it for what it is.
yeah,
But people
exactly.
like us who have watched the old ones, we're going to be 10 times more excited.
Excited to see these people. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's kind of like, I'm going to segue here into WandaVision. It's kind of like with that show, and people who do read comics of Scarlet and Vision, they've probably been so much more excited than someone like myself, actually, who has never read a Vision comic or a Scarlet Witch comic.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's gonna intrigue a lot of people enough that they are gonna go back and find those
Yep.
comics and read those old stories to
Yeah.
kind of to make more sense of everything. It's it's smart. I mean, it works. So it's a formula that we're gonna see in a lot of series like that, and a lot of stuff that gets rebooted. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Hey, speaking of WandaVision, since I mentioned that, are you caught up?
of course, of course. The
Okay.
the
All right.
the finale was a bit of a letdown to me. I'll leave it at that.
Yeah.
I wanted more, but I mean, I guess the whole point of the series was to open the door to the whole new phase, anyways, of Marvel stuff. So it kind of did that, I guess. So it did its purpose.
Yeah.
But I always like, in this like season finality, you like, it's a finale. You like finality. You need something to wrap up, but like it's just left so open ended that, I mean, it was good. It was good. I mean,
It
I
was
don't want
cool.
to. I don't want to say any. Yeah, I don't want to give any spoilers, even though people who are watching the show probably already watched it.
Yeah. Yeah, if you're listening to this show, you've probably watched it. um, but yeah, I don't want to spoil anything, but yeah, it's a somewhat emotional episode. Um, but it did kind of leave me wanting more, and expecting a little bit more from it.
Yeah,
And I hate to say this, but maybe it's because of Mandalorian. Maybe there's just because, like, we had that great show before WandaVision, everybody was on the Mandalorian train, and the ending to that was amazing. Like, had you on the edge, about to cry. It was so good. And so maybe we're just expecting, hey, it's Disney and it's Marvel, like they're gonna end it with a bang. And I'm not trying to tell anybody out there who hasn't seen it that it's a flat episode, or that it's
no,
not
it
worth
wasn't
watching.
flat by
It's
any
good.
means.
It's still good, but there are some, if you pay attention to YouTube and online social media stuff, there are a lot of rumors that were floating around about where this is going and who we might see. And yeah, there's
And
not.
I think I think a show, like you said, it leaves you wanting more, and that's what's supposed to happen. But it shouldn't leave you feeling unfulfilled, like you say. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But anyways, we were talking about movies and TV shows. I was I have a pass to a film festival that's just wrapping up, a local one called the Destiny City Film Festival. And I think they're based out of Tacoma, Washington. Um, I ended up with a pass for that, and I was screening a bunch of their stuff, and they had some really, really cool shit on there. Like, I watched a block of short films, and there's a couple notable ones. I don't know where you could find them, or search online for some short films that really kind of resonated with me as a horror fan. There was one that was called The Internet Kills, and it was basically like kind of like the dark web just coming to life and just devouring people, kind of like the internet does.
Yeah,
And it touched like
based on a true story.
Yeah, kind of, but like the internet was really it was a monster. It was a creepy monster that came and yeah, exactly. It's so real, but like, they added their own little, for a short film, to have like cool effects and just like create this cool monster character and everything. It was awesome.
That sounds fun.
It was fun. And there was another one called The Tooth Fairy. It was like literally like 20 seconds long.
Is it that one with the rock in it? I saw that. It was pretty horrible. It was pretty scary.
No, definitely not the rock, but just like they created this monster, a character that was just so creepy. It reminded me of like something from a Guillermo del Toro movie, like one of his monsters. Like, it was so well made, and it just made me want, like, I want a whole movie of this. I don't want a 20-second short. Like, I hope creators like these gives me hope that like there's no we're getting a lot of movies and stuff that feel like, oh, I already watched this, you know what I mean, like it's a remake or something, but it's giving me hope that there's people coming out with these new ideas and characters and stuff that gives me hope for more new entertainment that is going to blow our minds. So like these young new filmmakers, it's exciting, you know what I mean? Like it was I don't know if we're gonna be able to find them. I know I'm like hyping up these films, but I mean, if I find them somewhere, I'm gonna share them on social media and everything. One was The Internet Kills, and then the other was Tooth Fairy. Really cool. And there was another one called the Woodland Cemetery that was really cool. Like this lady, the photographer, shooting in a cemetery and shoots a photo that like opens up some creepy shit. And like these, I don't know, they were just like gripping, and as a horror fan, they were amazing. So that's I mean, you might be able to go find the Destiny City Film Festival, and they might have a list or something on there where you could find these short films.
I'm sure you could. DestinyCityFilmFest.com.
I'm not 100% sure on that. I'll look it up, but just Google.
Well, Google. People just Google it.
Google it.
Destiny City Film Fest. Google it, and I'm sure you can find the list, just like Steve was saying. So, for our listeners, like Steve was saying, our show is not set on just horror. We like to mix it up. We don't want anyone to think we're just a horror-based show and scare you off, pun intended. We love it. I mean, that's like a thing that Steve and I both love very much.
We love horror, and we love promoting horror, and we're promoting our friends that are involved in it, because it's all art. And but
we also sorry, go ahead,
man.
I'm just gonna say
no you. Let's do that. We should have an episode where we do that for an hour. We're just like, go ahead. No, you go ahead. Go ahead. No. You
No,
first.
after
No,
you, after you.
no. Let's
Um,
just fucking get to the guest. No, but yeah,
well, we do like to mix it up, and we obviously we enjoy comedy a lot as well, and you know, just all forms of art. I mean, um, it doesn't have to be straight horror. It can be sci-fi. We just like to mix it up, and hoping that we provide a little something for everybody out there. So if you stumble upon our show and you're like, I'm not really into horror, I'm more of a music head, we got a Space Camp interview for you. We got a Jack Havoc interview. Now we got an Underrated interview for you, and there's plenty more coming. You know, if you're into comics, we have interviews with people that designed, like God, Steve, help me out here.
well, we did the recent Cullen
There's a bunch
Bunn,
of them.
the
Cullen
episode with
Bunn,
Cullen Bunn and Blackie
Reanimator.
for the reanimated comic, which is horror, but it's still, it's all art. We want to
Yeah,
promote it all. So if you guys see anything cool out there that you think we'd be into, uh, point us in the direction. We'll look at it and maybe we'll bring the creators on, or we'll talk
yeah,
about it. That's what we want. The show is basically our way of finding new things and sharing new things that we like with you guys. And if you're enjoying what we're offering, you might want to check out our Buy Me a Coffee page. It's buymeacoffee.com/Steve Crypto. You could kick in a couple bucks here or there, or whatever, to help us improve the show, help us upgrade the show.
yep,
It helps. Everything helps, and we
yeah,
love doing this for you. And it definitely makes it easier for us to do this for you.
yeah. We love doing it the way it is, and we hope it sounds great to all of you. But if you think it sounds like shit, send us a couple bucks, and it helps.
Yeah, we'll sound better. We promise.
Yeah,
We promise.
yeah,
But yeah, like things like that help us, and promoting other companies helps us too, like our friends at Fright Rags. And Fright Rags, they've been bringing you the best in horror apparel and accessories since 2003, offering a wide range of products for your favorite creature features, slasher flicks, and cult classics. With some collections including John Carpenter's Halloween, Universal Monsters, Night of the Living Dead,
yeah,
Creepshow, Twin
yeah,
Peaks, Evil
yeah.
Dead,
Ah,
and so many more. Check
oh,
them out.
that's right. They have a ton of officially licensed apparel available now at frightrags.com. Steve and Crypto listeners get 10% off when they use code SteveCrypto10. That is all one word, SteveCrypto10 at checkout.
Let's get to your chat with Underrated.
Hello, this is Igoro, host of the Igoro Show, and you are listening to the Steve and Crypto Show. So keep your ears open and your mouth shut.
Welcome to the Steve and Crypto Show, brought to you by thestevestrout.com. I am Crypto Zoo. I'm hosting this one solo today, but I'm chilling here with a very special guest out of Humboldt County. We are talking with Underrated. And honestly, I've known him for a long time, just from being a fan and going to shows, to eventually opening for him myself and having him out here in Port Townsend in his previous endeavors. And now he's doing his solo thing and been doing pretty well so far, from what I can tell. I mean, your first solo video has about 3 million views right now, right?
Yeah, man. I'm first of all, appreciate you, man. Always been a great vibe and a great I don't know how to get too weird on it, but a great a great spirit, you know what I mean? Like just a cool person, man. And I always appreciate that. And there's not that many people like that in the business. I know you've also promoted shows and been involved with a little more than just being a fan or a rapper. You've dabbled in all the stuff. So you have an understanding of what's going on. I appreciate that. And to still be in it and trying to push, it's not an easy gig, as you know. So you understand all the stuff. So yeah, man, what's up, bro? I appreciate you. And Yeah, I'm here to kick it, man.
Yeah, thank you, man. I really appreciate having some time with you today, and I know you don't do a whole lot of shows like this, so it's great to have you on. And I just want to kind of promote what you've been doing and let people know, what you have coming up in the future. And I know you've been cranking out a lot of material in the last few years. Shit, since I discovered you in 2006, and you've been putting out material constantly since then, but just in the last few years, you've been putting out like the smoke session tapes, and then It'll Be Better Tomorrow was your first video. I know you've been putting out some remixes here and there. One that my girlfriend favors is the Breezy Gang. That one, we've watched that a couple times now. She is a pit bull lover and just loves your dog.
Yeah. My dog has become definitely part of the family. It sounds funny, but yeah, my dog is awesome. She's always happy, so you can't really be in a bad mood when your dog's happy all the time. That kind of helps the vibe of the house, especially in these days when you have to stay in the house more than ever. So I did a little video for her because she's part of life. You know what I mean? Yeah. Been there through all the ups and downs, and always there whenever you need to be like, hey, what's up? She's like, what do you mean what's up? We're living, we're happy. What are you talking about? Life is great. I'm like, oh yeah, okay. So definitely love that. And yeah, man, the music, doing it on my own is definitely a challenge, because I was always used to having somebody else, or even other people, even more than one person around all the time. And I don't know, man, it's like I started doing this 20 years ago by myself, learning and just, studying and just researching everyone's rap and everyone's beats, DJing, everything. I'm kind of like an introvert type of person. That's why I don't do these videos or these interviews that often or whatever. But, just hard work and continuing to do what I love. But what I'm saying is lately it's harder. I'm stoked that you follow what I'm doing by myself or solo or whatever, but it's harder, man. It's harder to stay motivated, and then I find these other things going on in life that isn't music related as much. And because I've spent 20 years or 15, whatever amount of years, just focusing on 110% music, once I get out and I don't have other people counting on me, I kind of just veer into different directions, and it's kind of been a healthy thing for me, as far as just then when I come back into the music, I can really give it from a different angle. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, well, it's always nice to have a new perspective on other things in life and something to write about. Sometimes creative people get stuck because maybe we're, I don't know if I should put it this way, the blanket statement, but like not living enough, or we're not doing, we're not experimenting enough. We need something new in our life, and to, also add into the writing and the creative process. So what kind of things do you enjoy doing outside of music, and that kind of motivates you to keep going?
Yeah, man. You're 1,000% right. It's trying to figure out what makes you move and what makes you want to learn. Cause my thing is with music was, I loved it so much because I was learning so much. So once you do it for so long, you're like, yo, the learning curve starts to slow down, because you can always learn, and I'm always still now. Every time I do something, I keep feeling like I'm getting better. But when you move into other areas, like when I basically started doing stuff on my own, I didn't have the connection with doing shows as much. So I stopped doing shows. I more just focused on doing my own thing in the studio. And then in the meantime, I had other things. I kind of got in. It's funny because you got the crypto name that I heard. I didn't even know if you have to do with crypto at all, but obviously it sounds like you are. So I'm saying I got a little bit into the Bitcoin thing just from my friend who was into that. He's talking about different things with stocks. And I know the whole GameStop thing just happened, so everyone's talking about funny shit like that. But I was kind of looking at these different avenues of learning, getting more into obviously the weed thing. I'm in Humboldt, so everyone's been into weed, but I've been into music. So now I can look at weed a little bit more, because I can just do whatever the fuck I want to do. That's basically been my goal, every day I wake up, I get to do whatever I want to do. You know what I mean? That's where I've always been my entire life. And music was what I always wanted to do every day I woke up. But then when I started doing it by myself, I was like, you know what? I do love music, but the learning curve is slowing down, and the love and staying up till 5 a.m. every day, making the bags under my eyes because I love music so much, not going to college because I just want to make beats all day. That feeling is there, but it's not as strong as it used to be, because I think I'm learning things in other areas that makes me attracted to those things. So now I'm kind of a little more well-rounded, you know, and it feels really good to have other things. It makes me feel more of a kind of a complete person, because when you're doing music and that's all you do, you miss out on a lot of little things going on that you don't notice. And after a certain amount of time, you're like, damn, I'm not even a normal person, bro. You know, like all I do is music. Like that's all I did. And, you know, I got better at cooking, you know, I got better at, you know, I'm really into sports. I got into gambling a little bit, and I started getting really good at that. So I started telling myself, I was like, man, you know, music got me out of my slump of being a young person and not knowing what I wanted to do. But then I started realizing actually there's other things too that I love that makes me happy. And it's interesting because I never would have done that if I hadn't have gone on my own path.
Right. Yeah. And you know, you can eventually apply some of those new things to your music if you desire to, you know. I mean, you can I'm sure you've been in the kitchen like chopping up veggies or some meat or whatever, and you're thinking of metaphors and, you know, for lines of bars and whatnot. I mean, I know I do.
Mm-hmm.
So
mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. Everything's kind of related to music at times.
But it's nice to escape that as well.
It is, man, because then it's fresh again, and then you get that inspiration again because it's not that routine that you found yourself in before, you know. And I don't know. And then you also know, we were talking about it the other day, you know, underground music doesn't pay real well if you haven't looked around. So it's like, that's cool. You know, what I got out of it for my years was amazing. And it made me grow as a person. It made me communicate with people better. It made me learn, you know, what type of different people are around in every single state, you know, in the United States, all the different cities, all the experiences I had is priceless, you know, like the cliche thing everyone says, but it's so fucking true, because, you know, that makes me feel like, cool, I went and I seen a lot of things. I learned a lot of things. I learned that where I live is dope, because when I was young, I was like, man, I live in this little ass town. This is whack. Then once I went everywhere and saw everyone else, I was like, you know, it's not that bad. It's actually pretty dope. So then when I came back, I was like, man, I'm not disappointed. I'm not sad. I've seen some stuff. It makes me feel good to be home. And life is okay, man. It's not easy all the time, but shit, it's a good thing, man. We can always find things to do. You know, that I think that's what it is. And we were talking yesterday too. It's like, you always got to find something to look forward to. If you have something to look forward to, you're going to be all right.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I've always got something on my mind each day that I want to try to get a little closer to accomplishing, you know. And I have a whiteboard that I need to put it back up on the wall, but you know, it just has a list of things that I want to try to do each day, that at least, you know, it says like at least write 4 bars, you know, or like write 1 hook, or, you know, exercise, you know, go for a walk, whatever, you know, drink water, like drink more water, things like that. So, you know, and sometimes we just need that little push for ourselves to keep us on track and whatnot. And, you know, I'm with you on the, like, kind of going from music or going away from music for a little bit and coming back to it. Like I will get some beats and I'll sit on them for a few months, and then you go back and listen to them, and sometimes you don't like them, and you're kind of wondering what the hell's the matter with me. Like, you know, this is kind of this is what I do, you know, like I should be feeling this and I'm not. And then you put it down, you know, you come back to it another month or 2 later, and all of a sudden you love it, or you forget you even had the beat, and you're like, what is this? And all of a sudden I have some new inspiration for it. And maybe it just took something else outside of music in your life that happened, and it just clicks. And then you hear that beat, you're like, all right, this is the one, you know, this is where I'm going to write about chopping up asparagus or whatever.
Yeah, man. Yeah, for sure. It's interesting. It's just I don't know, bro. It's just learning about how the brain works is very interesting, and music goes right in there because you got to be in the right mindset. Right mindset, like you said. If you listen to something one time, it could be totally different when you come back and listen to it the next time, or something you made and you don't even remember. You went back and listened. You're like, oh, actually, I used to. It can go either way too. You could love it when you were doing it, and you come back and listen and be like, that's whack. What was I thinking? Like that's not tight. But I think listening to it from all angles is key. And also, when you play stuff for other people, as long as they're just not, uh, you know, dick riders, you said I could cuss on here. So as long as they're not, as long as they're not like that, where they're just going to tell you it's awesome no matter what. It's also nice to be able to play stuff for people and watch their reaction. That's how I've always been, like being a DJ from the beginning, is how people react to what you're doing. You'll listen to it differently. You know what I mean? Like if you make a beat or a song and you play it for someone else, you're going to listen to it differently just because they're listening to it with you.
Yeah. Oh,
you
definitely.
know? So that's a huge thing. It's just, the brain is funny, man.
Yeah.
So you never know. And a song you make that you don't even like, someone could really like it, and vice versa the other way around. It's just crazy, man. You just gotta get off the couch and not get stuck and just keep pushing. Like you said, have different notes, like whatever works for you, just to try to move forward and not just waste your time. And because there's always things out there to do. Everyone's got interest in something. If they haven't found it yet, they just haven't found it yet.
Yeah. I mean, everybody really should. Well, I don't want to say you should have an outlet, but it's healthy to have one, to have something to do. I mean, it's kind of weird when you bump into people that just don't really have any extracurricular activities at all, that just 9 to 5, come home, go to sleep. Like, really? You don't have any like desire to do anything else and be creative? I mean, maybe it's not for everybody, but I mean, I know that it definitely helps me and helps, just me get through every day, just to, have music. That's the number one thing, music. And I enjoy movies too, that they help me get away from real life and, stress and whatnot, kind of escape for a little bit. But music is definitely what my heart connects to the most.
Yeah, look, I'd like to just bring this up because it's kind of a weird thing. I wonder if you relate or if any other people relate, is when you make music, tell me if you feel like this. When you make music and you've done it for a certain amount of time, like you're saying, oh, music is important to you and that, this and that. I'm like, there's something about listening to music sometimes that's new that you've never heard, that to me, I've always analyzed the shit out of music just so that I could try to get better. Not to be like, oh, let me hear that and beat it, but let me hear that and learn from it more. And so I still get stuck, even if I'm trying. I can't get out of this thought of, when I hear stuff, my brain just goes straight to, how did that hi-hat happen? How did that kick drum happen? What's the sound of that snare? How did they, what effect did they put on their voice? Oh, that cool little delay was neat. Oh, that auto-tune there again. Oh, whatever it might be. It kind of sucks, man, because I can't listen to it with an overall vibe like I did when I was in my teens or something like that. Like before I really made music, I can't do it. So sometimes I don't even want to hear music. You know what I mean? It's weird. So you're like, you need music. And I'm like, I wonder if you feel that too sometimes, or if other people, I know certain people have to, but that's where I'm at. And it kind of sucks. Like I got to listen to old music where I'm like, yo, that's dated already. I'm not trying to really, redo that or whatever. I'm not trying to, listen to that, recreate it, I should say. I'm not trying to hear something and pull from it as far as what I'm going to put into my own music, but I'm listening to it more for pleasure because I don't have to listen to it that way. So I find myself listening to old shit,
Yeah, I definitely I know where you're coming from. It feels like maybe we're programmed because we make music, because I deal with that same issue, and it's hard for me to sometimes just enjoy music as a listener, kind of like you were saying. I always, like, my brain goes right to like the creative process, or the lyrics and this and that, and but I do wish that I could sometimes just turn that off and just enjoy it, you know, for what it is. So
Yeah.
I try to, and then if I try to explain that to people that are close to me, it you know, it doesn't always come off right. And it's like, well, I'm trying to enjoy this, but the artist in me is trying to pick it apart. And
Yes. Yes. So you feel me. And that sucks because then it's like, you know, when you're trying to explain it to the person that might not be into music to that degree, they're like, man, you're a hater. I'm
exactly.
Like, oh, man, damn, I don't want to be a hater.
Yeah.
I don't want to be a hater. This is just how I listen to music. And it's like, well, maybe I am. Call me what you want, whatever it is. I don't know. But it's like you said, you pick it apart and it sucks, man, because that's not how it was before. So
yeah,
I don't know. I find myself liking older music because I'm not doing that, you know, or I'm remembering something I liked before or whatever. I don't know. But every now and then I'll hit something. And that's when you brought up those smoke session things. Every now and then I'll hit a song or a beat that I'll hear that I'll just love. And it just doesn't happen like it used to happen all the time. It happens every once in a while. And I'll be like, ooh, what's that song? Or, oh, what's that? Who's that artist or whatever? And then that's when I would do those smoke sessions because I'll remake the little beat because I know right when I hear that beat, if I can find it on the internet remade or whatever, I know I'm just gonna flow. I'm just gonna hear it and go, which is you know, not easy after doing it for so long. You know what I mean? 20 years in, you're like, okay, how many? You're like, hey, Tech9, how are you still writing that, bro? Like like you're a machine, bro. Like you're a machine. How do you sit down and still be excited and come with that type of thing? And I'm sure he has his issues with things just like everybody else, but it doesn't sound like it. You know, it's crazy. It's crazy.
I mean, some people have like a ritual too, you know, from what I understand. I mean, I've seen some artists, you know, in interviews, they talk about it, you know, they just have to like turn on a certain artist before they write their stuff, you know, and it's not usually anyone that's even similar to what they're about to do. You know, they're like, it's a rapper and they're saying, I'm going to turn on some Marvin Gaye and I'm going to lift weights for 15 minutes and then jog around the yard and then come back in and write this. You know, that's what I got to do every time before I write. Like it's weird how some of us do have little rituals and things like, I don't know.
I think it's cool. I mean, everyone in the world is different and everyone got their own way of thinking. If you learn something that works for you, more power to you. No matter what, I mean, unless you're hurting somebody, you know, it's dope. Whatever you need to do and whatever you figured out works for you. That's funny. I like it.
Yeah.
You know, I actually been getting on the treadmill over here lately, try to get ready for this 5-minute drill. So I feel it. In a way,
man. Yeah. So have you been working on that 5-minute drill for a while now, or is it kind of like, is it a breeze for you? I mean,
oh man,
as far as writing it goes.
Oh man, writing it. So I got into it basically for whoever's listening, if they don't know what it is, the 2-minute drill, 3-minute drill, 4-minute drill I did. Basically it's just a rap that goes that long in one take. So we hit record on Logic. I go in the booth and just rap from the beginning to the end. So it's pretty cool because you could hear me struggle all the way through it. So for this one, it's like I didn't do any. The 4-minute was like 5 years ago, I think now, and it's when I did it, I felt like, you know, when you do some stuff and you're like, yo, that's where I'm at. That's my top. This is where I sit now from all my learning, all my everything I've done for this amount of years. This is what I got to. Listen to this. That's what I got. I'm walking away. I can't do anything else at this point, you know? So 5 years goes by. As I think about 4-minute drill, I'm like, yo, that's crazy. How am I going to ever top that? Different people ask me, when's a 5-minute? Huh? You know, you're saying yesterday too, when we were on the phone, you were like, you know, you'll do an album or you'll do a video or you do whatever. And then right when it's over, people will be like, okay, where's the next one?
Yeah.
You know, it's like, when you do stuff like that, it's rough, man, because as an artist, you put your all into something and you spend a crazy amount of time and then you play it. Someone heard it for 2 minutes. If they want to go back, cool. If they don't, you're sitting there like, all right, well, I just spent however many hours or days or weeks on one song. It's done now. Okay, now what do I do? You know? So for this one, I went into it thinking, how am I gonna top that when when I did it, I felt like there's no way I'm ever gonna top it. So years went by and people were like, yo, when are you gonna do the 5 minute? Every time I hear people say it, I'm like, you guys want me to die? Like, that's crazy, like, you know? But at the same time, I was thinking it was on my birthday this last, November, and which was like 3 months ago. And everyone had been saying it to a point, and then I was like, you know what? Like, I have to do it because everyone wants me to do it. That kind of got onto me because of the 4 and the 3 and the 2. And I'm like, it's hard because I have to top the next one. So I'm trying to raise the bar on myself, which is great and all. That's always what I've been doing. But now I'm like, yo, 5 minutes, bro.
And then the pressure comes even further once you start doing shows again. If you're out on the road, everyone's going to want to hear that live.
Yeah, man.
I mean, we saw you do the 4-minute one here in town, here in Port Townsend. And I mean, you fucking blew them away. Dude. Like, they loved it.
That's fun because it's cool once I get it down and once I do it a lot and I start getting that's the one song where I get into my zone. Cause like I was saying before, being the type of person who's more introverted or whatever, more the person who more watches the world rather than be in the world and be the subject of attention at all times. I never wanted to be like that. But once you become making music, people want you to be in hey, go in the spotlight, do your rap. That's what you're supposed to do, right? Yeah. That's who you are. That's what you did. I'm like, nah, that's not what I really wanted to do. I just wanted to make music for you to listen to. Now I got to do the next step because everything's turned to video. So, or even doing shows, you got to do it. So, but once I did do it, I realized that's my favorite part of the show every time. And that's when I would get into my zone ready for the next songs or whatever. Like I'd be just kind of cold doing the other songs like, oh yeah, I'm rapping, whatever. Once that one came on, when I'm done with that one, I'm into the show. Like I'm part of I turn into a rapper. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So this next one, man, I don't know. I'm doing it different this time because I set the bar so damn high. I'm like, how am I going to really do this? So the way I'm doing it now is I got all the beats ready. I basically just started writing. I'm like, I got to brainstorm, just throw shit out there at first, or I'm going to go crazy thinking about how I'm going to write lyrics for 5 minutes straight. And a majority of it got to kind of be fast, it got to be something interesting. So I'm like, the way I did it this time, instead of writing the whole thing and then going in the booth and trying to record it, I actually placed it together and started recording the parts just so that I can hear them and see if I like them and then go on to the next one. So right now I'm 4.5 minutes in and I've been procrastinating this last one so much, man, because it's the Eminem, the Nat beat. And I'm like listening to how he did it. And I'm like, wow, bro, like it's just different for me. And I got to keep remembering I'm going from the beginning to the end for 5 minutes. So if I'm putting that one at the end, I can't expect to be necessarily to a spot where you could punch in and do certain things with tricks and computer things that I would do or people would do if they were just making a verse or a song. You take a little piece of that, put it there, make it sound as good as you can. I don't got that. So it's hard to mentally prepare myself for how am I going to sound 4.5 minutes in to try to do this now. Do you feel what I'm saying? So that's where I've been kind of stuck in the last few days. So I've been trying to work out, get on the treadmill, just get this energy out. Like, what am I doing, bro? Like, how am I really going to do this? But every time I've done stuff like this, I've always figured out a way to do it. So I'm just going to figure out a way to do it.
Yeah. I mean, you're going to end it with a bang. I know you will.
Yeah. Fuck it, man. I'm going to do it. No, when I did the 2 minute, I didn't think I could do it. When I did the 3 minute, I thought it was hard. When I look back, I'm like, that's so easy, So, I mean, I should be able to get it done. And then once I get that done, man, I feel like I'll be all right for at least a week, and then I'll be back. Like, damn, what do I got to do now?
Yeah, well, don't let anybody talk you into like connecting them all together, and when you go out live doing some 12-minute drill, because like Tech does the whole psycho bitch 1, 2, and 3 all in a row. So don't let anybody talk you into doing that.
No, I can't, man, because I would get too excited during shows and I'll throw my voice out for the next show the next day. And that's just always been my thing, man. I get too into it, and then I'll lose my voice. I feel like I lost my power, and I'm sitting backstage before the next show with a voice like this, and I'm like, what the hell am I doing, bro?
So has that actually happened at some shows before you, where you lost your voice? Yeah. And I mean, how did you handle that when it came to, you know, chopping out there?
It's hard, man. One time we had to just not do a show. I remember I went out and sounded like the fucking devil. I went out there and my voice was, I got into the second. I remember getting into the second song, and I was like, I was basically talking and sounding like that. And then we were like, yo, we can't even do the show. And the funniest part about that show was we got through the second song, and then we're like, all right, well, we're not going to really be able to do it. We did our best, you know, whatever, you know. People heard me and looked at me and were like, I don't know if they felt bad or what they did. They kind of respected the fact that I went to that level, I guess. It's like, you know, I didn't say, no, I want to cancel the show. I just tried my best. And I remember that particular show, we sold more merch at that show than any show on the whole tour.
Oh, geez.
Isn't that crazy, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, man. So I just, you know, I would look forward to off days when I got like that and do all the rituals and drink the little, what was it called? We had these little spritzer little things like vocal. I forget what it's called, like something that was supposed to help your voice. I didn't really do that much, but I remember Calico would always lose his voice, and we would always, you know, do the throat thing all day long. Like all we lived for was our shows, and the rest of the day we were just trying to get ready for it.
Right. Yeah. And I mean, in some ways it's probably a little worse for Calico because he's, you know, he's got some pipes and he's out there singing too on top of rapping.
Yeah, man. I can't even think about it. Yeah, that's the thing about this one is this 5-minute one. I'm trying to make it just more different and more interesting because it's 2021. People lose interest in 5 seconds. So,
oh yeah,
you know, so I got some little singing parts and some little lower parts. So I'm like thinking live, is this really am I going to be able to figure this out? But whatever, man, you can always figure out everything.
Yeah.
When you get down to it.
You know, you were talking about how your voice was a little different at that show and everything. Speaking of that and your voice being slightly different, a while back, I came across this track called God Particle, and it was with the Underground Avengers, Ala Zuli Lou, Joker, Q Strange, Gorilla Voltage, Lex the Hex Master. You kind of had a dark and different delivery on that track. And it honestly took me a minute to even recognize that it was you, you know, but it was like, holy shit, this is him. Like, this sounds really cool.
Yeah.
Do you got any fun stories attached to that song or like any other songs from over the years? Like any fun tales?
Yeah, I mean, like you were saying before, the Breezy Gang song, the one about my dog, you know, I kind of did it in a funny way too, where it's just not my normal style. I just, you know, I think also just going solo and just being able to do whatever the hell I wanted to do. That's why I just was like, fuck it, man. It was fun. And I did this other song for these dudes. They hit me up and they wanted me to do a verse on one of their songs. And it was a Juggalo, you know, type of song where, you know, I could fit by smoking weed and stuff, but my style doesn't necessarily scream Juggalo,
right,
to the general thought process of what a Juggalo song would be in air quotes that you can't see. But I heard their song and I was like, fuck it, let me just try it. You know, why not? It's fun. And it's, you know, what's interesting is you can come out with stuff so much faster because you have an open space where you've never put your brain, you know what I mean? So it's like, you know, you could just change up your voice and make up some story that's whatever it might be, and it's easy. Well, at least it was for me the few times. And then that song in particular you were talking about, I don't know why I did it that day. I just felt like it was fun to do it that way. And I also was kind of scared in the past to try to do something out of the box that was not my norm because just didn't feel comfortable. But now I realize whatever I hear, I can kind of, not that I can do anything, but I mean, I can get close to a lot of things. Like, you know how 6ix9ine is, where you're like, oh, that dude, whatever. Oh, fuck that dude. Oh, he's a snitch. Oh, whatever. If you're into following anything to do with hip hop these days, you know who 6ix9ine is.
Oh yeah.
It's like, yeah, whatever his character and his ways of getting attention, that was a little bit much for people, you know, that have been in the game for a while. They look at that and they go, that's a little too much, bro. Like, you're going too far. The shock value thing is one thing, but you're taking it to the next level where it's disrespectful. But his way of rapping, if you want to even call it rapping, definitely was a catchy, like, something about that energy was super dope. And I took from that, even like I took from that trying to do like that, just that like that, like we're this is fun, like we're here, come on, like, you know what I mean, like that. And then he had a little scratch to his voice. Yeah, super hype. And I even threw that in a few different songs, like you know, things that I would never think of doing, and I threw that out. I liked it. Even on the Smoke Session 3, where I would start rapping different, like I would be super calm, because a lot of the newer stuff would be like the most calm, because you're maybe you're on some pills or you're on some lean or whatever. I don't really mess with that type of stuff often at all, but I'm saying that vibe though of I'm just gonna slur my shit because I'm just in this world of relaxation, and you're like, that vibe comes off the song in a way that I've always been lyrically, I gotta have my voice be like Chuck D and I'm gonna because that's the dude I grew up listening to.
Like
so I was
Chuck D and Sen Dog.
yeah, so it's like, yeah, exactly. So it's like, that was my voice for so long. When I started doing other things, it starts being fun because you have all these other things to play around with. So, you know, the 6ix9ine energy or the pill popping, lean drinking, relaxed, whatever the hell, you know, but in your own way. If you drop little parts in there, you can always learn from everything and be like, why are people liking this? You know, I remember when P. Diddy put out his first song, he was Puff Daddy at the time, and I was like, this dude is rapping so soft and so bunk. But then I was kind of like, later I was like, well, I mean, kind of worked though for him. It's not my favorite thing, but I mean, it, you know, it's something about it. And then the next thing you know, 10 years later, everyone's rapping so soft, like it's the thing to do. Like, you know, it's like everyone wants to hear that now.
Yeah, that definitely is the popular thing now. It's like kind of the I'm too fucked up to like project, you know, it kind of comes off that way sometimes, but like then there's 6ix9ine, as you said, where he is super hype and very energetic. And I try to one of the last songs that I did, I tried taking a little bit of inspiration from him, from his energy as well. And my friend and I did a song called Venom, and I basically like tried to incorporate every symbiote that I could, you know, from Marvel, and put them in the lyrics, you know, like Phage drinking toxins when I'm something full of energy. I can't remember where I went with it, but anyway, I tried to put them all in there, but I definitely had the intensity as far as my delivery, like, you know, a 6ix9ine delivery.
Yeah.
And I can't really hang with a lot of the new shit that's coming out nowadays. I kind of listen to older stuff as well, but there are elements of almost any type of music and any song, you know, that I can enjoy. So like, I don't really listen to Cardi B, but there's that Money track of hers, you know, that beat is really good. I think it slams in the car, you know, like, so I can listen to it. I'm like, well, all right, I might not be feeling the lyrics and everything, but I'm digging the beat, and I kind of want to rap to it myself. So
yeah, and it's like it's more the vibe of how she raps. Like, her raps are dope. It's not really what I personally do, but it doesn't mean that I can't like it and understand what she was trying to do. Yep. And man, she's pretty fucking dope, man. I mean, it's so weird how particular people are and how opinionated people get. Like, I was thinking about it, I'm going to go on my Facebook and just write my top 5 rappers of all time just for fun. Mm-hmm. Like, you know, some people might be like, yo, I don't even like you anymore because who the top five rappers you like, you know? Like people are weird, man. I don't know. And it's just, I guess it's just, I don't know, man. I don't really get it, but you know, I just gotta, I mean, I guess we all just gotta just be who we are, but I don't get the, yo, if that dude doesn't like this, he's kind of weird, because they're thinking what they're only their particular way instead of looking at all the angles. Because I've always been somebody who looks at somebody and tries to not really put myself in their shoes, but tries to understand their situation for why they reacted in that way. You know, like I try to be open minded to the point of, if you're not hurting somebody, then it's all good. Like there's no ifs, ands, or buts about that particular statement. Like if you're not hurting anybody, all good, bro. If that's what works for you, dope. I'm for it.
Likewise.
You know?
Yeah.
And
do
a lot
what
of
you want to
people
do, whatever makes you happy, as long as you're not hurting anyone else.
Yeah. So, and unfortunately, that's not how a lot of people are, especially on the internet, because there's no repercussions, as we know, and people just do whatever they want and think it's funny.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So anyways, we're veering from wherever we were, but
yeah. So let's talk about, your record for a minute here. Are you doing all of this by yourself? I mean, you produce all the beats. I know you do a lot of your beats yourself. I mean, are you mixing and mastering everything yourself as well?
Man, yeah, man. The mastering, I actually know this dude named Ryan in Montana, and I've been homies with him forever. So he's gonna do the mastering. That he did the mastering for the Black Markets Matter album too. But everything else, I've done everything else. Like I don't make every one of the beats, but I have, probably half the beats, maybe, if I thought about it, something like that. And then the other ones, shoot, I just got them different people, a couple here, a couple there from different people that I really like, and I'm super picky about beats, so they really had to get me to do it. But yeah, man, everything myself. That's why everything takes so damn long. But I feel like if I let other people do certain things, or I want other people to do certain things, and I give it to them, I'm usually not 100% happy with it. So I'm like, whatever, I'm just gonna do it myself, and then I have only myself to blame later.
Yeah, well, you're your own worst critic, and I understand, like, you might get a beat from someone and you're into it, but there's like, there's this one little thing about it that I want to adjust, but I don't want to ask them about it. I don't want to be nitpicky or anything, so yeah, I feel you. I mean, in my downtime, I try to make beats here and there when I can, and I'm slowly learning how to do it myself. But yeah, it's a big reason for that is that I just don't like asking other people, hey, can you change this? Hey, can you fix that? So
Right.
rather just kind of handle it myself.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, most of the time, because I'm so hands-on with stuff, if I get a beat from someone, I just take I just be like, hey, send me those files usually, and I'll take out stuff and add stuff if I want, or make the breakdowns and sequence it different, or whatever I want to do. And at that point, oh well for them. You know what I mean? Like, they gave me what they loved, and I've never had a problem with anyone worried about that, because I wouldn't worry either. Like, people take what I have made and move stuff around and change it on their own. But I feel what you're saying. Telling them you want something different is different, because it's hard to communicate exactly what you want. Like, hey, I want that little synth to go this way instead, or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to say that, it's hard to even communicate that. Then they go try and come back, it's not really what I wanted. They're like, fuck you.
Right. You're like, I don't want to be a little nitpicky asshole here or anything, but it's like, man, I'd rather just kind of be quiet about it and fix it myself if I can, or whatever. I just don't like to be a bother. And I don't know, I sometimes have trouble asking for help with things, and so I'd rather just kind of handle it on my own if I can. Yeah. So did you start like making your own beats at a young age as well, or did that come kind of later?
Yeah, no, beats was first, man. I did beats first before rap. I was never gonna rap, man. Like, I think I always look back and I go, it's probably because I'm in such a small town that no one else rapped. There was a few other people that rap, but I just remember I'll always remember just having different people come over and rap, you know, and sometimes they would flake or sometimes whatever. I just know one time they were supposed to come over and rap. You know, I had the beat already and I was like, all right, cool, cool. It was just fun to have someone feel the music you did and then add their element to it. It just made me feel good at the time. I was making beats. I was like, oh man, someone likes what I'm doing. They want to rap on it. Cool, let's do it. And so that was my love for a while. And then one time they just didn't call and didn't come over. I'm like, well, look, if I'm going out of my way to make the beat, invite you over to my house, you know, be in my space, whatever, record you, mix you, hand you a done CD at the time, which was amazing to have your music on CD at the time. You know, it wasn't like everyone had a studio back then. It was like I would have a 4-track and a computer and some beat making stuff. At the time, just making a beat was like amazing, right? So people were like, yo, dude over there makes beats. Remember, super small town. No one makes beats where I'm at that I knew. I don't think anyone did. So then people came over and one day they just didn't come, didn't call. I was like, well, that's not very appreciative when I'm going out of my way to help you guys. I'm happy you're coming over, but at the same time, I'm kind of doing a lot to hand you something for free also because I just like doing it. So I was like, all right, well, if these people aren't going to appreciate what I'm doing to a point, I mean, it sounds kind of weird to say appreciate, but it was just the idea. You guys didn't come. You guys didn't call me to say you weren't coming. I'm here ready. I was like, fuck it. I'm just going to rap on it then. And so that's when I was like, you know, I wasn't that bad. You know, I said some stupid stuff, you know, and I rhymed some weird things. And I remember I shot people in the song and like I did some things that had nothing to do with me. I just wanted to rap words and see what my voice sounded like. And I mean, it wasn't that bad. And I was like, this isn't that hard. Like, why is it? Why? I mean, I didn't really like my voice because I didn't know how to use my voice at the time, but it was fun. You know what I mean? That's what it was. It was so fun. And then right after I did that, I was like, you know what? I just want to keep doing this. This shit's fucking fun. And then I play it for other people. They'd be like, that's kind of good. I'm like, really? Okay. So I made the whole beat by myself, then recorded it on my stupid 4-track on this little Radio Shack mic, and it sounded cool. Well, then I found something, you know, that was fun for me at least. And so I just kept doing it and perfected my shitty equipment until I could afford more.
Good, man. I mean, and it's probably nice. I can relate, at least as a introverted person myself. It's probably nice to, you know, put yourself out there for a minute and find that people enjoy what you do, you know, and they're telling you, hey, this is pretty tight, and it kind of gives you a little bit more confidence as well, and you're like, all right, maybe I'm on the right track here. And, you know, whereas like a lot of introverted people, you know, need that little push, or they might not put themselves out there on their own, you know, but they just, once they finally do, you know, then like you get that one little bit of confidence and, you know, positivity. You're like, I'm ready to go. Like, let's keep this train moving.
Yeah, for sure, bro. For sure. I mean, that's it. That's it right there, because you like doing it and it is fun. But once someone tells you that it's actually kind of good, you're like, and then you see more and more people saying it's good, where you know it's not just bullshit because it's your friend or your girlfriend or your mom or whatever it might be. You know, whoever, it's like you're off to the races at that point, because, or at least for me, because there was nothing else that I liked doing, you know, or even that I could get attention to have people say, hey, you're actually good at something.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's an amazing thing. So I don't know, man, I've just been doing that for so damn long. I just feel like I woke up the other day like, oh, I've been doing this for this long. Okay, cool. Here I am still feeling the damn same. I feel the damn same, man. It's crazy. I've been doing this long. I'm still trying to do a 5-minute drill and raise the bar like a psychopath. And that's just, I don't know, still makes me happy when I still get in the studio. It's harder to get in the studio. It doesn't pull me in as much as it used to, but once I do and I get the right bong hits in and I'm sitting there and I'm like, yo, I'm in this. And the best shit ever now is I can really work at something instead of getting frustrated and be like, oh, that was good, let me start something else, I didn't really finish it off or whatever. Now, once I feel a feeling of I like this, if I start veering from loving it, I just figure out a way to keep loving it. Like I figured out a new way to be like, okay, what's going on with my brain here? Why am I not bringing this to the next level? Because everything you add, right, from the first sound of the beat you make, from the snare, you're like, ooh, I like the snare. Ooh, I like the kick. Ooh, I like the hi-hat. Now, everything you add, every element got to make you happier each time, or you're not going to keep finishing the beat. So or you're finishing the song or anything. So I finally figured out a way. I could work on something for a whole week now without getting mad and frustrated and out of my zone. Like I could go an entire week and be like, I'm trying to communicate this feeling on this song, and I'm going to work for a whole week before I actually get to the point where I'm trying to get to. And I never could do that before. But this last couple of years, I've been figuring out how to do that, where I'll sit down and you say, I want you to make a song about that. I'll be like, cool, I'm going to go do it right now. I'll be back in a week.
Well, damn, man. I mean, that's great that you've reached that point in your life where you can do that now and feel confident about it and positive. And, you know, it's probably a little bit of a weight off of your shoulders.
Yeah, I could never do that before, man. Like all the other stuff was like just throwing shit out there. Like all the things, some of it came across the right way and the communication did come through. Like it'll be better tomorrow happened or whatever, but I wasn't in the zone that I'm in now. Like that song happened on accident. It was me writing to myself. And then the timing just happened as how it happened. And then, you know, things just kind of clicked. And the guy who did the video got a new camera and he was like, I want to just test this camera out. We went into the woods and it just was shining. Like it just, all the things just kind of worked. And then the way the YouTube algorithm was, for some reason, it just I've never had anything happen like that before. Like that just was crazy. But I wasn't even in that mode of I'm putting this song out and I know what it is. Like now these last few songs, the Stay Strong song, kind of about the COVID shit that we've been going through, it's I don't know, it's shit, probably 6-8 months old now, but at the time I got to say exactly what I wanted to say. The one about the whole racial thing going on that was going on with the George Floyd and the whole crazy thing that happened and is happening. Obviously, our world is racist as fuck. So I was like, let me try to make a song. Now check out, how hard is this going to be? Being a white person making a song like this, it's hard. It's hard. Like, how do you come off the right way to each person in whoever they might be? How do you say it in the right way? How do you communicate this without, turning people off or making people think you're a certain way? And it's hard, man. That was a hard one. But like I said, I sat down, bro. It took me a long time to figure out the words. But when I was done, I'm like, this feels good because I'm saying exactly what I want to say. Not like the other songs where I was just rhyming words and they kind of fit. You know what I mean?
Right.
So yeah. I'm really happy with that. That's why this 5-minute thing is taking so long, because I'm trying to put different like ways of rapping in 5 minutes. I'm trying to tell my entire story, like all my elements of what I believe, what I like. I'm trying to put in one song. So it's like I have a little section about the weed industry and how they're fucking up everything because of the legal thing and my ways of looking at it. I have a shit talking one where I'm just fucking dope at rapping and I'll fucking kill anybody who steps on the shit. I have my little girl parts where I'm like, ooh, talking about some sex shit or some girl shit here and there, whatever. I have my whatever different ideas that the racial things happening in the world where I feel like people don't treat each other right. I tried to put everything in one. That's why this was taking so long, and that's why I want this one to be right. So I'm excited about that. Shit doesn't come out as fast as I want it to. But when it comes out, I feel better about it. I feel better about it overall.
Well, good.
That makes sense.
Yeah, of course. I mean, it's there's nothing wrong with waiting and trying to make it, as good as can be. And I mean, take your time, man. Like, I know it's going to be a great track in the end. And it sounds like probably the most heartfelt out of all of the drills so far. I mean, you've always had a lot of heartfelt material, but honestly, lately it seems like it's been deeper than ever, which is great. I mean, it's almost every single that you've put out has been very relatable, and I'm sure a lot of people can relate to them. And the cool thing about Stay Strong, I mean, especially a song like that, is timeless, man. Like, I mean, it definitely applies to now, but it's really, I mean, that's just a way of life. Like we always got to stay strong.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's the thing with music. You can say, and you can put out your feelings or what you think about things. And I always wanted to, um, show that we're all people. We don't treat each other right, as good as we can in a lot of different ways. And if you look back at things that I've done, on the surface, people talk about, he's talking about weed again. Okay, cool, whatever. Oh yeah, he can rap good. Oh yeah, he raps fast. Yeah, cool. Yeah, whatever. But like the ones that slip through the cracks, the ones that people really relate to, the ones that are the timeless ones, like you said, the ones that people hit me up and be like, oh man, that one song I'm Different that you made 15 years ago, or that one song Calico did the hook. I forget how it goes now, but there's just certain ones that are so real that they just stick because people want to relate in a lot of ways. And I just love being able to communicate what I'm thinking and put it on a song, and then have enough people that give a fuck. You could call them fans or whatever. To me, it's funny to call people fans because I look at it just like it's just people that are relating to you. And so it's cool that you can have a voice and relate to certain people. There's something about that feeling that feels good. So now that I know that, and now that I have, tried to work on this craft for 20 years, why the hell would I say anything that I didn't mean just because it rhymed? Like, that's what I used to do just because it was fun. Now, don't get me wrong. It's talking shit and just letting that emotion out is never going to go away. I love doing that too. That's awesome. That's the shit because it lets you get that out. But, being able to relate to people on a human level is the best because I can squeeze that in there, in different parts where I'll talk about weed on the surface and I'll talk about talking shit and I'll talk about a girl or things that are fun that most people like to hear, partying, whatever. Yeah. But then I'll slip those other things in the middle where it won't be boring and it won't be preachy, at least hopefully. And then people will pick those things up subconsciously. And that's always been my favorite part about this. Even if people don't look at me like that on the surface, when they get down into it, like the real people that know about shit that I've been doing for a while, that's the vibe they usually have. That's like, I like this dude because of that.
Yeah. I mean, the first song that you mentioned, actually, that people relate to, I'm Different, is definitely one that I've related to for, since I heard it for the first time. And, it's just, I've tried to write more relatable content for other people as well. It's like, we're not just doing this for ourselves. We're doing this trying to connect with other people. And that's always been the beautiful part about music to me. And it kind of, it makes you feel not so alone. And it definitely makes you feel like, performers aren't up on a pedestal. They're just like us. They have problems just like anyone else, and so like being real about it on a song is great. Like I'm not really into the flashy shit. It seems, I mean, I don't want to say it seems fake to me, but I don't relate to a lot of it. So, a lot of stuff that I do relate to is kind of more not, I don't want to say always on the darker side, but maybe more about like struggle and overcoming things, and that sort of vibe is like, all right, things might be down, but I'm going to get past this.
Right. Just normal things that I think everyone goes through. It doesn't matter. Yeah. Even the person who's doing the flashy song, there's nothing wrong with that either, because that's what they want to do. That's cool. You want to have that vibe. That's cool. But, those people go through things too. They might not say it on the song, but they're going to, everyone goes through their things, man. Everyone got that glitch in their brain every now and then. That's like, I'm not going to pretend like everything's great today, whatever. I mean, it overall shit's great. Overall, hell yeah. We're going to make sure that we're living happy and everyone around us is happy. That's the goal. Fuck, man, that's the goal. Money's one thing. Money can make you happy to a point. Yeah, but not really. I mean, it can definitely help, but the goal is everyone be happy, be able to party, chill. It's almost like the Juggalo. That's why the Juggalo vibe to me from the beginning, I didn't really know about it, but once you start saying family and everyone's in it together, that's when I was hooked with it. And I was like, yeah, that's what's up. You know, can't fuck with that.
Yeah, I mean, I had my time with that. I was never the stereotypical fan, but I've always loved the family vibe between them all. And I mean, if you fall down in a crowd, like they're picking you up, making sure you're all right. I mean, you'll have random people just coming up and saying hi to you. You know, you're all there for the same reason. And a lot of them are really, really good people. I mean, there's bad apples in every bunch, you know.
Yeah.
People want to throw blanket statements on that group of people, you know. But yeah, I mean, a lot of them are great, genuine people and very loving, and you know, they'll bring some food to a stranger, you know, that's on the corner, and I mean, before they go into the show or whatever. I mean, they're great people. You just can't push them away just because they listen to some wild music. I mean, it's kind of on the same level as Kiss or Rob Zombie or Manson, shit like that. And you know, I mean, anyway, yeah, there's bad apples in every bunch, but I've always thought that group is very devoted. And I mean, you've seen, I mean, firsthand, you know, with the tours that you've done over the years, like that, I know that those fans love you and what you do, and they're not bullshitting you.
Yeah, and they're just accepting, man, is what it is. They're accepting if you are yourself, they like it. That's all there is, really all there is to it, because they're just, I don't know. I mean, that's that thing, but you know, that's just kind of like what I fell into. I didn't listen to any of that stuff. I was just doing my own thing, listening to fucking gangster music on the West Coast. And,
Yeah.
you know, but whatever, you find your niche, I guess, or your little section of people that relate, and then you do what feels right and keep going, you know, whatever. It's life. Everyone does that. So yeah, man, the Juggalo has always been cool as a whole, for sure.
Yeah, I kind of, you know, started listening to eventually I discovered a lot of East Coast hip hop shit, and that just is where my heart's at, man. Like I love a lot of I'm just really into lyrical stuff, and you know, just coming with some hard bars, and I mean, it doesn't all have to be that, you know, but I do enjoy the delivery. I mean, I got into DMX at a young age, and I think that's probably where it started. And then honestly, one group that I believe you toured with that I really am into when it comes to that hard East Coast shit is La Coca Nostra.
Mm-hmm.
And I know I saw you guys with them, probably one of the few tours that they did, and you guys came to Seattle, and that was a hell of a show, man. Like I remember seeing you and some other people from the tour actually in the crowd watching them do their thing. And I mean, for anyone who doesn't know, La Coca is like House of Pain and Ill Bill and Slain all in one group. So they had a lot of different material to perform, and they just tore the place down. But you guys went up there and, you know, you did your thing before that and just kind of set the bar. And I'm curious, like, were there ever any was there ever any tension backstage, like not fighting or anything, but any weird vibes, like after you come, you know, off the stage? Like, has anyone ever acted different? You know, not saying names or anything, but have you ever gotten any weird vibes after you come off? Like, oh damn, I gotta follow that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, a little here and there, but I always try to kill them with kindness, I guess, you know, like it's like, you know, there's definitely egos involved in music and stuff. And that particular tour, I don't remember anything like that on that tour. What was cool is I feel like there was a mutual respect on that, because what I was doing, or what I should say, what we were doing and what they were doing was different, you know? So it's not a competition. It's we're a show together. Like, I'm going to do my part and you're going to do your part. And, you know, they would say random things. You know, we shared a bus here and there. I don't remember exactly. That was a while ago, but, you know, I got to know Slain pretty good. Ill Bill was always cool. Lethal was really funny. They were all really cool. And
Nice.
I felt like they showed a lot of respect because it wasn't necessarily their thing, but like and this is what I was talking the other day to my girlfriend about was, why did I really do this in the first place? Like, what was my reasoning for doing this for so long? Like, what am I getting out of this? What was I looking for? And really, in the end, it was, getting out of kind of feeling like I don't have shit to do in my life. But then later, it was like, I really felt good when other artists gave me respect. And so that one reminds me of that because they wouldn't be like, yo, bro, you're super dope. Because when you're sometimes when you're doing music, it just doesn't happen that way. But the communication aspect of it was like more like, yo, man, your breath control is dope. Because whatever, it's kind of like you can tell that they're giving you props without kind of saying, in a certain type of way, where to me, that's all I need, man. Like to have certain people that you look at like somebody that you respect so much and you see do things like before when I was first getting started, like people like Spice One and Rapping Forte and things like that when I was young, listening to those type of dudes. We did some shows with them, and I still remember after we did a couple shows, we did like a weekend. I think we did like 3 shows in a row. So when you do shows with people, a lot of times the promoters will put you in the same hotels and all that stuff. So after the shows and stuff, I just remember people like Spice One and Forte, they would see me and after or whatever, and they'd be like, yo, bro, like they would give it up. Like Spice One, kind of not as much. I remember Forte was like, yo, you're fucking, whoa, bro. Like you're fucking dope. Like, where the fuck did you, like, things like that is like what I lived on.
Yeah,
like, that's what made me continue. Like when other people, like even Tech back in, it was a while now, but shit, at the time when I was rapping fast, being, not as dark skinned at that time was like, yo, like I was something where people looked at me like, you're something, like something's going to happen with you, bro. Like you're going to get to this next level. And to me, that was really what I needed. I don't really want to, like, I mean, who knows? Cause I didn't get to that point where, oh, you blew up and everyone knows who you are and whatever. I never got to that point, but I don't think I want to get to that point. Like, I see how people get treated kind of when they're on that level, and there's kind of a lot of pressure, and, some of that type of shit doesn't even seems like it feels good. So I just feel good about people like La Coca Nostra saying, yo, bro, you got dope breath control. Like, that's all I need. So there wasn't any tension or anything like that on that one.
Well, good. I was just wasn't necessarily thinking about that tour, just wondering like over the years, if there's ever been that vibe where like you get off stage and like, okay, things were cool. And then now it's kind of weird and quiet, like, I mean, around here in this small town, I mean, it's just, fish in a small pond, but we deal with that sometimes where everybody doesn't get along or whatever. And you do a show and there's weird vibes, and it's like, man, it's not about that to me. Like, we're just trying to all be a part of the event and put on a good show for everyone else that's there. And, it's not competition to me. It never has been. I just want to have a good time. I mean, I started as a drummer and so I've played in bands since I was 14, and I've always had that group mentality. And so I'm not trying to be on top or, anything like that. I'm just trying to kind of keep things humble and have a good time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's, but, also when you put in a lot of energy and a lot of time, and this is your art that you've, worked so hard to get to that point, and then you're performing it, there's also, I'd be lying if I was 100% in my brain, perfect at that, like I've had times when I've watched people and like been like, oh man, like, I don't know how to like really connect it in my brain, but it's kind of more like something about it where I'm kind of like, I'm kind of comparing what they're doing, but this is earlier on in my thought process. Once you get to the point where you're confident in what you're doing, then that goes away.
Right.
You're like, whatever, they're doing their thing. That's dope. I'm happy for them. You know, that's where I want to be. It's just like when some of the new music comes out and my brain starts analyzing things instead of enjoying things. That's when that hater in air quotes starts to come, and I'm like, nah, it's not that. And I'm like, I just don't even want to listen to this. I'll do something else.
All right. Well, I don't want to keep up too much of your time. So just going back to your solo record for a minute here. I know you're still kind of finishing the kinks and trying to figure out how you want to put it out. Is there anything you can tell us about, like any guests you might have on it, or any special surprises, anything like that?
I have a couple people on it that I'm hyped about, that I've always liked. I feel like they're two of my favorites on the underground, and they came through for me on here that I like a lot. And then I got a couple other people that I've been doing music with for a long time that I got on here too. So I feel like I got a good selection of features. I got all the elements of what I wanted to do on here. It's kind of like the 5 minute as an album because it's like all the things that I've wanted to say and how I've really felt this whole time doing music and put into one album, because I kind of just worked on it little by little, instead of trying to rush to get something out, because I don't know, man. It's like, I don't even know how I want to put it out. I don't even know none of it. I just know that it's done and I listen to it and I'm happy with it. I got a few mixes to change up, and really I'm focusing on this, trying to get this 5 minute done first. And then once I get that done, and hopefully that video turns out the right way, and then go from there and really see what I'm going to do. But I mean, I should hopefully have them all out by the summertime, and get to the next thing,
Awesome. Are you you have any plans to maybe hit the road? Or are you thinking about, I mean, I know things are tough now with COVID and all, but
yeah,
do you have any thought about maybe trying to, do any little shows or one-offs or anything like that?
Yeah. It's been fun doing stuff with Garth. Garth Vaders did the Black Markets Matter album with me, and it was really good to just be able to talk about things going on in our community, as far as like the weed things, the recreational, all the changes in the weed business. So that was really fun to write and put together. So I think we did a few shows together. It was real dope, and it was really fun, and it was really like, it feels good to have a message, because the people that actually relate, we're in the no one's saying what we're saying when it comes to the weed thing. Like, everyone's jumping in the weed business like, oh yeah, it's legal now, we can get our money, we can get our business angle in here, we can do this, we can do that. That's cool. I'm not hating on that, but I'm on the old school. What about the people that started all this? A lot of them are getting stuck in the dust, and we talked about that more. And so it's fun to be able to communicate that on stage and see how many other people actually do feel it. Even if they're involved, they still feel it. They know how the laws are. They know how governments are. They know how people with money treat people without money. It's just how it works. So it's fun it feels good to relate those kind of feelings too. So I think some of those shows, when this COVID thing hopefully lightens up, we can go do some festivals, some weed festivals, and bring a different element to the stage. And that was always fun. And I don't know, the other stuff, I don't really know. We'll see how it goes. I mean, if things happen doing solo stuff, then they happen. If not, I'm not tripping. Like, whatever. I love doing shows, but I hate everything in between.
Yeah, the business side does kind of bring it down, takes a little bit of the fun out of it, and but once it's actually showtime and everybody's there, it's like a family reunion to me. I love that part of it. Once it's actually like showtime and we're moving, and everything's good then. But yeah,
right.
I get what you're saying with that. Yeah, I mean, it would be great to see you and Garth get out there for some festivals. Like we have the Seattle Hemp Fest and Olympia Hemp Fest up this way. It'd be cool if you guys were able to get involved with that.
Yeah, man, those kind of things I feel like we fit good in, even though we're kind of saying the opposite of a lot of people that put together those things have their hand in stuff since the beginning, so they understand what we're saying. And I think a lot of people can relate, even though it's different, even we're not hating. We're not saying you own your dispensary and you're a piece of shit for it, we're saying, yo, that's dope. You got in where you fit in. That's cool. But we're just talking about the people from the beginning that brought weed to the, you know, to the entire world where, you know, it was, where it all started. And then now there's laws and different things creating, you know, people not getting along really. It's like some people doing legal stuff, and then there's people doing black market stuff, and then the people that doing legal stuff used to be black market stuff, and they're shitting on black market shitting on them. It's just a whole bunch of bullshit. So it's fun to bring that other element instead of saying weed's awesome, put your hands up if you love weed. Like, that's cool, I feel it, that's
like,
cool.
I've been doing that for 20 years.
yeah, so it's like everyone was saying, you know, you want it to be legal. I remember fucking 5-10 years ago, oh, it's going to be legal one day. Yeah, we're like, no, there's going to be issues with that. It's going to suck in certain ways. Legal's great, but not the way it's going to be handled. And that's exactly what's going on. I heard Oklahoma got some good weed laws going on, but that'll end soon, I'm sure.
Oh yeah. It's funny that Oklahoma of all places has a good law.
No doubt, man. That's because probably they don't know how to get all the money out of it yet. Maybe they're probably learning right now. They're like, damn, why is everyone moving here and growing weed? Oh shit, we didn't charge enough for this. Oh man, these licenses aren't enough money. Oh man, we could have sucked more money out of these people. They didn't do it yet. They're gonna do it soon.
And shut down.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Why are we letting all these people do like stuff they should be able to do, and we're not getting money from this? We're gonna figure this out.
Oh yeah.
So whatever.
Yeah.
It's all good. I just like talking about stuff other people don't talk about, because there's a big opening there to say something new, open people's brain in a different way.
Yeah, man, it's really cool to have an album that you can listen to that is, you know, the beats are just bumping and, you know, make you move like any other hip hop record, but there's also like a strong message throughout the whole record, you know, like there's a theme throughout that every hip hop record doesn't have, you know, it doesn't have a theme. So you guys really have that going for it, and it worked out well. I really enjoyed it. You know, I'd love to see you guys hit the road, and you know, I'd like to be able to see you guys do your thing in person one day.
Yeah, man, that's actually really fun. I hope the COVID thing ends, and you know, we can do some of that. That'll definitely be fun. I like doing that. I feel like I'm representing, you know, my people. I represent my Humboldt upbringing and what I've seen my whole life. And you know, what's that movie? Is it Horton Hears a Who, where they come in and they take all the I don't know what they do. They come in and they just, I don't know. It's the big corporations coming in and taking away from the little whoever's, and you know, so it's feels good to represent something, man, instead of like cat in a hat, flat in the back and a smack in the rat. Yay! I'd rather say some shit that matters, you know, and you know, feels good. And so yeah, I can't hate. So that's probably the closest thing to shows I'm thinking about right now.
Cool. Well, good, man. I hope that you reach that point, and I'm really, really looking forward to hearing this finished album when it's done and you got it out there for the people. And is there anything that you want to promote before we wrap it up here? Anything you want to mention?
Not really, man. Just you know, if you're interested in hearing anything I do, Underrated World on YouTube, pretty much got my videos I've been putting out lately, and that's pretty much it, bro. Just shit. I'm just trying to stay happy, man, and helping everyone around hopefully stay as happy as you can. It's not easy, especially these times. So hopefully you can love each other more today. Shit, I don't got much else to say than that. That's really what I'm trying to do.
That's great, man. Well, thank you. I really appreciate having this time with you and getting to chop it up and, you know, talk about the process of music and everything that you got going on and you know, things that are coming up in the future. I'm excited to hear the record when it comes out, and I just wish the best for you, man. I hope that you're happy in your solo endeavors, and I hope to see you soon on the road as well.
Word up, man. I appreciate you too. Thank you so much for always being real and always being that vibe that you know, you don't find in music too often. So I appreciate you.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it as well.
Hey guys, we are back here. Thank you to Underrated for chatting with Crypto. It was a great conversation. I'm glad to have gotten to know him a little bit more. And
Yeah. I thank you guys for listening to it. Yeah, Steve, I hope you enjoyed it and that you got a little background on Underrated, you know, and I hope that any fans of his listening enjoyed the chat and you know,
and listen to some of our other stuff.
Yeah,
check it out.
Yeah,
check it out.
Yeah.
I bet you guys will find something you're into.
Yep, check out the archives.
Come back. Yes, come back.
Yep, spread this one around, please. You know, as I said in the beginning, he doesn't really do a whole lot of interviews, so it was really special to get some time to talk to him, and I mean, it was really a really chill conversation, and I hope that's what you all take from it as well.
Hey, well, thank you guys again for listening. Go to our Buy Me a Coffee page, and we will talk to you soon.
Catch you next time. Peace.
It'll be better tomorrow. 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 I see you losing hope, I see you hurting bad. Looking in the mirror like, who is that? It was all to the good just yesterday, but when it rains and pours, the pain won't go away. Relax, take a deep breath. Life never takes no recess. Cry, let it out, it'll hurt less. You're alive, that means you've been blessed. Gone through a lot, yeah, that's a fact. But you're like my hat, you always snap back. Never give up and don't backtrack. The next hand could be that blackjack. People think I'm different cause I'm ripping up a mic, but I'm the same as everybody else, searching for the light. Anybody listening and going through it now, this is just a reminder that when you're feeling down, you can be lifted up. Take a hold of your emotions, change all the pain into focus and devotion. Trust in yourself, get the ball rolling. If you think positive every day, you'll be golden. And right now, it is what it is cause you're feeling like shit. It's been a long day and it makes you wanna quit, but always remember this: it'll be better tomorrow. 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 It'll be better tomorrow, yeah. It'll be better tomorrow. I'm gonna miss the shows, gonna miss the fans, man, I just really don't understand. All I'm asking for is a little bit of love or respect on my name, or I gotta be up. This is hippie life, straight to the core. I don't wish to fight, not anymore. Still on a mission, but I'm living like I'm in a divorce. So disappointed that I couldn't work it out, of course. Now I'm sad as fuck, but I gotta be me no matter what. Man, I wanna be free and not get stuck. Reality TV got us all fucked up. This is my life and I give it to you. Expecting to fight like I'm on pay-per-view, but I'm really just hurting and trying to get through. Never hooked on those Xannies, but I just do too. The hardest decision I made in my life. Tears started dropping like rain in the night. Told myself from the beginning that I gotta find the light, so I need to keep it moving, never wanna lose sight. Grabbing a mic brought happiness, but lately I don't feel it when I'm rapping this. Loneliness sinks in when I feel like shit, I just remember this: it'll be better tomorrow. 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 It'll be better tomorrow, yeah. It'll be better tomorrow. It'll be better